It's Friday, it's Anfield's FM, and it's another edition of Noise from the Boys. Jockey here tonight, as usual, and we've got the usual turnout as well. We've got the Caveman.
Now then.
Young Chris.
Hello.
And Big Col.
Good evening, everyone.
Okay, last Sunday it was, wasn't it? Sunday, 5:30 game, was it? 4 p.m. game, of course. Liverpool 3, Sunderland 1, Liverpool 3. 3 points what we really needed, especially as all the games around the weekend favoured us, didn't they, Col?
Yeah, I thought the weekend went well. Results that we had up at Sunderland and the other league games that were played on the Saturday afternoon and then eventually on the Sunday. I thought we were okay for for large spells of the game. I mean, there was a couple of subplots that went on behind it as well. I mean, they had Kevin Ball, who was being put in place of Canio, took charge of the team. We had Suarez back for his first league game. And I thought we did all right. We had our usual wobble in the second half, but other than that, I mean, the game should have been put to bed after the second goal went in on 36 minutes. And then when the second half started, we had our early wobble, as we always do. But, I mean, we went to an away ground, played Sunderland off the park for large parts of the game and come away with 3 points. So let's not moan about it, eh?
But we got that second goal, didn't we, So? You've been asking for it for 5 games.
Yeah, we got 2. We've got the second goal and a third goal. Just like echo Colin's sentiments there. It's good that, we were moaning, we were getting a bit doom and gloom on the show at Horse. And for no reason, really, because we were expecting more. But you can't ask for more than what we went and done, do you know what I mean? Like Con said, they had a little spell in the second half, other than, cat and ball just running around, kicking lumps out of everyone. I didn't see how they were going to get back into it in any way. But I was made up with the results and the way we played. And, the second half, the first half stopped, you were made up. So, then when they scored the second, I thought, here we go again, the second half, where we don't perform. But, we weathered whatever. It wasn't even a storm, was it? They had a little 15 minutes. Like I say, the new manager syndrome and that, seeing that off, I was made up at the end, me, over the moon with the results.
Yeah, same as Tony and Colin. 2-0 up, we've been screaming for that second goal, haven't we? So, when you went 2-0 up, I thought we was going to cruise it. I thought we was going to end up 4 or 5 or whatever. But I knew once they got back into it, it was going to be hard. It was going to be hard to get, that other goal, but they got it. And it was easy in the end. They tired in the end once the catapult went off, didn't they? And the crowd was right up for it, so it was a good win, I thought. Going away to Sunderland, sometimes you have struggles, so it was a good win. 3 points, made up.
He was saying about the subplots going on in the game, that the bonus for us was the other fella with the big seat. He's a different planet to everyone else, and he's just miles above everyone else. It's just give the ball to him.
Brendan?
Not Brendanio's New Raylands, the other fella.
Not the fella with the white teeth, the fella with the big teeth.
The Al Raylands. Yeah. So when you see him, like him coming back, it's 2 new signings, and he's like 2 fellas.
Colin?
I think what was impressive, what we can take from that match was, I think we've stumbled into our formation. 3 centre halves, 4 midfielders, and Moses sitting behind Suarez and Sturridge. I mean, we look solid, we look compact, apart from the usual wobble which we've got ingrained in us at the moment.
And have done for years.
Yeah, I mean, this could be the way forward with us for this season. 3 at the back. We're mobile there. We've got height, we've got strength, we've got pace. Colo, Sawley, Marshall and the troops. And you move it into midfield. The only slight I've got there with that midfield, and it could be a blessing in disguise this tomorrow, Lucas being banned, is I'd like to see him taken out and someone else put in there in his place. But apart from that, I think that 3-4-1-2 could be the way forward for the rest of the season.
Getting back to Lucas, I'd like to see him taken out, as in a Brazilian hit squad taken out. But we've gone on all season, haven't we, about the form of Sturridge, how great Sturridge has been. His form's been bang on. We've been saying, what's going to happen when Suarez comes in? He's going to mess up the system. Yeah. You know what I mean? Look at it. Look what's happened. Yeah. Brilliant.
Good players play together, don't they?
I mean, it's only the second game together, and it's only the first successful one, really, but they look brilliant, SAS.
Not though, because last season they linked up well together, didn't they? And thought they were brilliant last season, so they just carried on where they left off.
No, they were trying to pick,
my eyes.
They were trying to pick bones out of it last season, weren't they? That they couldn't play together and bring in loads of stats and loads of different stats. And he was saying he's better without him, he's better with him. You've seen the pair of them two together. That Sturridge's name was El Sturridge. You'd think he was Brazilian or something. You wouldn't think he was a British player, English player, him.
And imagine Coutinho in the team with the Suarez, Sturridge and Gerrard, the four of them, you know what I mean? That would be brilliant.
Well, just picking up on what Chris has just said there, that's where the could all start to gather real pace. If we get rid, well, it sounds terrible, but if we do manage to move Lucas out, slide Jordan Henderson into Lucas's role, move Victor Moses back, and Coutinho then goes in behind Suarez and Sturridge. That could be, if we can keep that side fit in that formation 3-4-1-2. I mean, the sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned with that.
I think it's a bit unfair on Lucas though, because he has been good for us. It's just this season he's been getting back to his old ways, his little daft little divvy tackles and giving tackles away and getting booked for it.
And it's bad, and it gets in fellas' heads, doesn't it? Bad injuries, you know yourself in it. Something less than until you're like a good hard challenge, and it's always in the back, and you can see him. He's slightly late for putting his foot in, and then he's arguing, and then he's never really had a thunderous tackle, so you can't remember him like flying in, and you can see it's either playing on his head as this injury he's had.
Is it because where Gerrard's playing around, where Gerrard's playing, is it, is that messing up his game?
Well, it's hard for me to see what Lucas actually brings to the team. He's not, as Tony said there, he's not a ball winner. He doesn't get forward and score goals. His passing's not the greatest in the world. So what I'm thinking is, for the greater good of the side, surely there's something we can do there to add to the team. Do you know what I mean? And I'm, not to say we're slagging Lucas off, but I just think if we want to move forward as a team, maybe he's the person that we need to take out first, and then try all the experiments without him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be a blessing in disguise, isn't it, with him, but.
Sorry.
Go on.
Go carry on, so.
No, I was just going to say, with him, he doesn't offer nothing anymore, whereas in the past, he doesn't, lads. He's just like, you can throw any kid in there to do what he does at the minute, but it's a place, that you could have that type of player with offering something, do you know what I mean? If he could offer something on top of it, he'd be alright, but I think he's just floating through games now. He's just like, he's not just a waste of space, really.
That centre midfield, it's probably the most influential position on the football pitch, and we've got none there at the moment. Lucas doesn't offer enough for me to be influential, and Gerrard just seems to be out of form at the moment. But you're going to stick with Gerrard because he's the skipper, and he'll play himself back into it. Whereas with Lucas, I just think what we see is what we get.
Well, no, he didn't play too bad against Sunderland. We weren't brilliant, but the ball for Sturridge was brilliant.
I was thinking about throwing with myself last week, what's his name? Torre in that spec there in front of. Do you know what I mean? Little animal, that's old and spec. He's a clever footballer, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He can play anywhere. You're thinking about banging him in there?
Rodgers has turned it round, as you said before, Cole. He's fell onto that system.
3-4-1-2.
Like against United, 3-4-1. What? 3-4-1-2. He fell on that, and it worked against Sunderland. It was just coming together against United, weren't it? Yeah. They looked the part against United, so...
Stick with it, I think. Stick with it. Let's see where it goes, because it's built around attacking football, that 3-4-1-2, and we've got pace all over the pitch. So it would be a shame now to revert back to the flat 4-4-2, because we look sterile. Do you know what I mean? We seem to dominate games better when we've got 3 at the back, 4 in the midfield, and then the other 3 causing chaos up front.
We had about 30 players then, didn't we? 5-4-3-2-1, 5-4-3-2-1. I like the Christmas tree.
Like a TV Live advert, weren't it? Getting back to SAS, Sturridge and Suarez. The 2 goals were brilliantly taken, and I think certainly on the first goal, Suarez pointed to the part of the 6-yard box where he wanted the ball played, and Sturridge played it there from the outside of his foot, and then again. For Suarez's second goal, again, he got into a position, and Sturridge seemed to know he was there. Well, obviously knew he was there.
I know Gerrard hasn't been like what he's normally do, his expectations he sets, but his levels, that ball he hits out to Sturridge, oh my God, did you see the way he took it as well, that ball? There's only 4 or 5 players in the world that can hit that No backlift, just bang, dropped. He didn't even move. I just took it in his stride and everything. That's what he's
Brendan
about.
said it was like Sturridge brought it on as if he had Velcro on his boots. He brought it on and played it into.
Did, lad, like a Crimbo Prezi lad.
But Sturridge's goal. I don't know who knocked it into him. Who knocked it into him for Sturridge?
Gerrard.
Was it Gerrard for Sturridge's goal?
It was a corner, wasn't it?
Corner, was it? Yeah, in off his arm.
Not malicious at all. And the big telly off him in his interview after he gone, look at that. Come on, use common sense. You can see the lad's leaned into the head and missed it.
What if it was our little Uruguayan friends who went off? Would have been malicious then, wouldn't it?
Well, Torres, some of the carry on this week. Imagine that was him with the big teeth. Imagine he'd have done that, lad.
Well, I'm just going to make a point. Tony, join in on this. I'm just going to make a point. Defoe bit someone, got a booking, no further action. Torres scratches someone and it was malicious. Gets a booking, no further action. Hang on, listen to me. Bale dives everywhere, gets booked, no further action. Now, and Suarez, put Suarez now, out of them 4 players, who's the only player in the Premiership who's never had a red card in the Premiership? Suarez. So he's
I never knew
no,
that.
yeah. So is there a witch hunt on him? Because as I said, if that ball was went in off his arm, his first game back in the Premiership, what is it? Cabinet would have got recalled Sunday night. Yeah. Like the last 2 times it's been mentioned in the comments.
What's Torres' ban? Have they give it?
No.
Yeah, no further action. Aren't you listening?
Sorry.
I've just said, no, we got booked, no further action.
Anybody out there?
So, you was going to say something then, so... Oh, no, obviously you...
That was brilliant, I like all that. I love all that. To start that, carry on like that.
But yeah, they're playing together, and Long makes it go on, and then his wife has only had a baby on Thursday night. And,
Scouser, isn't he? Little Mickey, little Benji.
And there was a bit of a celebration, and you couldn't actually see it the first time round when the cameras panned him. But we all thought he had one of Atscarf and Banner's t-shirts on, didn't we?
FM, I seen on one of them.
There was a race on to Photoshop that's still at the goal, and Jockey won it with Anfield's FM. You were slow there, Mick.
Yeah, but after there's all kinds pop up with Atscarf and Banner's. Badger is that scarf and Badger's t-shirts, and I thought Suarez was flashing one of them at first. So anyway, great celebration, and Louis got a little scouser on the firm.
But also the way, like Suarez, the way he played. You know what I mean? There's no he's got to take a game or 2 or 3 games to blood. He was at it, wasn't he? You know what I mean? I know he was only playing behind closed doors a few games, but he was torturing fellas that had played the last 5 games in that league. You know what I mean? He was like just being dropped in, and he was just torturing them, wasn't he?
The better he gets going up to January, the more the rumours are going to be about.
They've started.
I know, and they're going to go in January, So if they get offers, 70-60 million in January, you'll take it.
I hope not. I was hoping. I mean, Ian was talking the other day about a new sitting down and sorting a new contract. I couldn't really see Liverpool getting him to stay just for the beginning of this season and letting him go in January. You know what I mean? I'm hoping he's not going in January. The end of this, it gets us into the 4th spot and keeps us there, and we finish the season in 4th. That's the difference, and then he can do what he wants. Then he hasn't really got an excuse if we finish 4th.
Well, I think, like we say, it's not too far away. It's only 2 months in it, Crimbo, the transfer. If we're still knocking about 4th, 5th spec, let's see what these are made of, these Yanks now. They're like the proper businessmen. And I read a boss thing of that Brian Reid, he was saying, these Yanks know football. They don't know football, but they know hardball. And all the Yanks who own English clubs, Randy Lerner, the Glazers, the Kroenke fella, they played hardball with all their top stars. I mean, you're going nowhere. We're used to this with these American footy players and the baseball players, and they've just played hardball. I mean, you're going nowhere. You know what I mean? And they've give them the due. They've stuck together, stuck by it, haven't they?
It's one of the first times you've seen it happen, hasn't it? Player power where they've wanted to go and you always expect them to go. And he stayed, and you know.
The biggest problem we've got about Suarez this season is he's a gilt-edged signing for any Champions League side. He's not cup sides. That's the biggest problem we've got. We're not in Europe, and as Sully's just said there, if they come calling with silly money, you never ever know with these people. It's all right saying they're going to play hardball, but money talks. And if they offer 50, 60 million quid, the chances are he'll go. But I hope he doesn't. I hope he stays.
No, well, I'm saying it's what are these made of? Do you know what I mean? If we're fourth or fifth, if they threw like a little 50, 60 mil at us for 2 or 3 decent top players, why can't we take that next little leap? I'm not talking like getting above my station, but why can't we take that leap? I've seen so far the league, it's panning out as it's going to be. I think now you can see what's happening. The structure of the league starting already.
Let's just hope to use the heads and keep him. You know, the money's not everything. Get us into the Champions League, and that's where the money is, and then sell him, you know.
Tony's right there. The way the league's panning out at the moment is it's there to be won. You wouldn't have to spend, you know, mega money in January. We'd need like 2 or 3 quality signings. You know, you could end up winning this league. Tottenham are hard in the ball game for winning this, the way they've spent the dough. They've got a top-notch squad. United are faltering. Chelsea are hit and miss. Arsenal are up there now, but you know they'll always have a wobble. So if you spend the money properly in January, get the class in that we need, you never know, you could end up winning this league.
That's the big thing, though, is it? That's the big thing, spending the money wisely.
Top-notch coffee, Darren, hasn't it?
What's he been smoking him?
Leeds and everything.
Well, you've got to remain optimistic, haven't you?
That's what we go to match for. We go to match this year, and if you keep winning league games, you never know, you could end up winning it.
It's anyone's.
What did I say? Aim for the sky, and you will land.
The moon.
Yeah.
You'll end up in Spain or somewhere.
Airline.
But yeah, great result at Sunderland, and it was still a bit ugly, the football, some of it, but
It was nerve-wracking the second half. You know, at 2-1. I always thought they were going to.
it's always the same, and it has been for years.
You know what? As Sully just said, when it went to 2-1, you were expecting another one. Do you know what I mean? But for the difference was Suarez, and that's what the difference is between coming first, second, third, or fourth, or not coming anywhere. Do you know what I mean? So we keep Suarez fit, keep him on the pitch, and let's see where we go with it.
And it could be beautiful when Coutinho comes back.
And the big difference, what we're missing as well, is something we've done, but we have not done for years. One, when others around us have faltered, and we jumped all over it, and like we've never done it. We've always cried. And in the back of your mind, you were like, I bet we get a stupid draw at Sunderland, or like the new manager syndrome. That was in the back of your mind, but
I thought we'd been 3-1.
I said you'd win 3-1 with Sturridge and Suarez on the score sheet. But
Actually, Jock, yeah, you did. So I mean, we won't knock that one.
I said 3-0.
I said 2-0, Suarez, 2 goals.
Man City and Everton tomorrow, you can't really put a score on that one at the moment, could you?
The way City play after they've had a European game, you know, you'd think Everton might go there and nick something. But saying that, after watching City and the way they played against Bayern, I'm fully expecting City to go out and put that scoreline the other night right. So I can't see nothing other than a City home.
Yeah, but Bayern are playing football. It's just unbelievable football. That might prove how shit the Premiership is, really. You know,
completely agree, Chris.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's 2 on the bounce they've lost, and they've got Peter Villa as well. But Everton have got no Gareth Barry tomorrow as well. So
neither of City.
really is. No, they've got Barry Gareth.
Barry Grant.
Yeah.
But another interesting one there. Man United away at Sunderland. This could make or break Dignity, Dave. This one.
This where Sunderland could get the win. You know the crowds, but the crowds up for it and all that. Then they're due a good win, hopefully.
I disagree with you last one. You disagree with me, Jock, about how long Moyes would be in the job, but I can't see that. I mean, you know, there's no reason why if they get beat tomorrow, I can't see them sacking him. Stranger things have happened. Don't get me wrong.
I hope they don't sack him.
But he's there. He's got to be. I mean, they give him that big long contract, and he's not going anywhere regardless of how they get on.
Did you watch Monday night with Neville and Carra? Didn't you watch it? Anyone?
I don't think so.
Monday night footy.
No.
TV.
Go on, what are you playing that, so?
No, go on.
No, Gary Neville says, he said there's no way they're going to sack David Moyes, he said.
No chance.
He said, Fergie's got him in, he said there's no way. He said there'd be players going before David Moyes. He said, there's no way he said, 80, he'll be there for the long haul. And I was amazed up with Gary Neville there.
Did anybody catch the interview that Ferguson gave on American TV? He's doing a tour at the moment. Did you see bits of it? Now, the interviewer asked him, said, like, the way it's going at United, how would you feel about going back? And he couldn't get it over more plain and transparent. He won't go back to United, you know what I mean? So the chances of them sacking David Moyes, I think, at the moment anyway, are virtually nil, unless they're bottom of the league.
One other thing that came out of that interview with Alex Ferguson is he says he stopped. I think he stopped the fellow who's interviewing him and said, "Never hold grudges." Alex Ferguson said, "Never hold grudges." I thought, like, did you used to go on the BBC and and tell them not to hold, because you wouldn't speak to the BBC. Yap, Stan.
The transfer request Rooney put in for City, still holding that now. We actually told a reporter in the interview that Wayne Rooney actually put the transfer request in, which we all know, in hindsight, is all loads of absolute bollocks.
Fergie doing yoga and Pilates. He's had an epiphany, like a different fella. But some of the things that Moyes has been saying have been very, like, degrading towards Fergie as well. Didn't he? Moyes said, this squad, every other day he said, this squad is not good enough for the league. He won the league last year and he went, it needs major strengthening in all departments. Fergie must be sitting there going, but that just shows you the power of Fergie. He took crap teams to leagues, do you know what I mean? It's like just filled them with 2 or 3 crap every season.
He rebuilt that club, over and over again. Ripped teams apart, sold people, as Jockey's just said. Ripped teams apart, and then rebuilt them all, and they went on to win leagues. I'm not throwing bouquets of flowers at them, but you can see where they are. You can see where they were with Ferguson. You can see where they are with Moyes, and the chasm and the gap is fucking unreal.
Go on, Jock.
It's a huge game, not for United for David Moyes tomorrow against Sunderland, and I think if Sunderland get a result there, do you think that banner will still be up in the Stretford end? The chosen one? How embarrassing is that?
You meant Frank there. I was going to say, is that where it's going? No, the Bell End one. No, the thing is with Moyes, it just shows you the Fergie. And players would go there because Fergie would make them better players. Do you know what I mean? No one's bigger than Man U, obviously, but if you're looking at Fergie now, he held some sway at that club, didn't he?
And it's the shouts Moyes is coming out with, isn't it? Like the negative shouts, we're not good enough to win the European Cup. We're going to lose a lot of games in the Prem. It's like Hodgson when he comes to us, when he was coming up with like mad shouts like that.
Well, even, going as far, just to go on what Sol's saying there, he's got the captain who was the skipper of the team last year was Everett, that slag, but, I mean, he's looking to sell him, and bring Baines in, and it's, them rumours and shit like that won't go away, so, I mean, we're not asked, we couldn't care less, it may last forever and ever a day, but you can just see you can just see where it's going with them, I think, anyway.
Yeah, well, it's not really Man United talk about. We've just gone through a few games on tomorrow. It's just that there are rivals, and we'll close. We've had our nose rubbed in it for years, and we're hoping they fall as quick and fast as possible. That's all.
Yeah, it's a gloat, so we're gloating. It's a daily gloat.
The daily gloat.
Feed the gloat. Feed the gloat.
And he will score.
On my coupon the other night, it's on. It's on Shakhtar to win. I was convinced, and 4 teams, and Shakhtar, they let me down, yeah.
We were looking, anyway, move on from more or less from the Sunderland game. Anyone else got anything about the Sunderland game?
Well, just while he's just said that, the games the other night, isn't it horrible sitting on the couch watching all them Champions League games? Just the things we used to do, we sound like Leeds, live the dream, but sitting here the other night, I've been to half of them grounds with the Reds.
Yeah, we're in transition though, aren't we? And maybe it's better that we haven't got that diversion of having to go to Europe. You know what I mean?
There's a bonus on it.
But also, we've just been looking at a little video there. What's on? It's actually British Pate. It's got no noise with it. It's got no sounds with it. But Paul at Anfield FM stuck it onto our blog page. If you go to Anfield FM. .org and go to our blog. It shows the Kop letting out in the 1972-73 season, we think, and it's an amazing bit of footage with them steps at the back of the Kop. They're all coming out like ants, and amazingly they've all got flares and middle parts and all that, but there doesn't seem to be there doesn't seem to be any replica shirts or even scarves knocking about. There's one little camp supporter, isn't he? Waving his sky. He sees the camera and starts acting up to it. But go on AnfieldFM.org, our website, and go on to blogs, and it's a great piece of historic footage.
I tell you what, you do see a lot of the Al knitted scarves, you know, they knit themselves, your nan knitted you one and all that, with like league champions in white wool and a red scarf, and there's all that.
As I say, there's not many scarves on it, and they're easily spotted, the ones that are on it. I spotted a couple of them silkies. Remember the silkies with the red ones with the white line? I think it was supporters all over the world, weren't it?
Yeah, with the replica, aren't they? And hat, cap, scarf.
Yeah. Oh, a mixed place, a cap, scarf or badge, whatever he's called. Get down there anyway. It's next to the flat iron on Walton Breck Road. Yeah, he's not paying me for this, you know, by the way.
I get nothing, so I've got all of these shirts and they haven't given me a carrot back yet.
So yeah, go on to AnfieldFM.org and have a look at that. It's pretty interesting. Another thing, what's going on in December, I think it's December the 13th, a lad called Tony Murrell, who he owns Murrell Promotions. He's doing a cup winners night it's in Runcorn. I'm not quite sure what it is. In Runcorn, it is Halton, isn't it? Halton Social Club or Legion in Runcorn. December the 13th. It's Ian St John, Jan Mulby, and Ian Callaghan, and the tickets are I think 30 or 35 quid. You can see more about that on the Anfield FM website, and also our Facebook and Twitter pages, or on Tony Murrell's Twitter feed as well. So that's December the 13th. It could be a good Christmas present for someone, that. Anything else before we move on to the Crystal Palace game?
No, not a concern in what we just spoke about. I think we got a good bit out of Sunderland there, didn't we?
Just a quick one there, Jock, on some of the news that was broke during the week. Robbie Fowler, Robbie Jones and Stevie McManaman have all been given academy coaching jobs with the kids, which I thought was quite good news. So, you know,
it's good to see, isn't it?
It gives the kids something to aspire to when they see pros like them coaching them, you know what I mean? So, fair play to Brenza for bringing them back.
Do you think they'll cease them to pass the pound?
Yeah, I know, yeah. But it relates back why we like it. It relates back to the boot room thing, keeping it in house done. It's nice to see things like that, you know, like starting a little clique of our ex-players. Especially
the Scouts Foundation, at least it's staying within the club. Robbie will be made up. I've interviewed him once or twice, and he still hasn't known what his future is panning out with Liverpool.
Touch MDF, we might have him on Noise from the Boys soon.
Have you spoke to him?
Yeah, but he's always busy. Like, it's getting hold of him to do it and get him down here. I'm sure if you just threw a few bottles of Becks at him, he'd jump at us.
Well, Rob Jones was as well, by the way. I'd just like to say that he made his debut in his Man U, weren't he?
Yeah.
At Old Trafford.
That's correct.
Brilliant. He was a brilliant player, Rob Jones. He never scored for us, unfortunately, but...
It was him who finished his career early, was it?
Shingles,
with his back.
Shingles,
thought it was something to do with his back.
That's what me and Rob Jones have got in common. We've never scored for Liverpool.
Tomorrow's game, Crystal Palace. We're open for 3 points. What's their form at the moment? Anyone know?
Bottom of the league. Bottom of the league form. Go on, I'll move over to Tony, because Tony's put a bit of effort into this little stat. So it's
just concerning, you know, your Crystal Palace, right? The 17th in the league when it comes to shots per game. They have 9 shots a game.
Just a minute, right? So Sully has got 9 fingers up to show Tony. Look, please make sure you mention the 9-0. Our dog knows about the 9-0, so why wouldn't Tony Stato not know about it? Tony, carry on, mate.
Right, and look, we're 17th. They're 17th when it comes to shots per game in the Prem, which is the one of the lowest. And they're 18th for conceding shots. They concede 15 shots per game. So surely we're going to put 2 or 3 to them to bed out of that. If that's a regular thing on a 90-minute game, surely they're getting a few, like, banging a few. And it's funny how Chris mentioned the 9-0, because on the 12th of September 89, we put 9-0. I went to my old mate Iggy to see him in his coffin that night. Remember Iggy? Ian Hirst, John Connolly's mate. Yeah. We all went to see Iggy in his coffin, and then we went to the match and they won 9-0. So it's always like they won for Iggy type thing. A few of us, Derek Melia. Yeah, Dave Ritchie. Yeah, Degsy Mealy, Graham Casey. Remember Graham, don't you? No. You remember him, don't you, Carl? Yeah. Yes, that's right. And also, while we're at it, Ian Holloway's coming back. He's coming back with Palace. 3 years ago yesterday, Ian, they beat us with Blackpool 2-1. So nearly 3 years to the day. Charlie Adam and we got
beat us home and away that season.
Yeah, they did. But
Hodgson.
Nearly 3 years ago to the day, so I don't know what it. Is it any?
It was Aldo's last game as well, that 9-0. Aldo's last game.
Yeah, he was boots in, didn't he?
That Blackpool game Tony's going on about, it was a kid who used to be a trainee at Liverpool who got the winner, Gary Taylor-Fletcher. Yeah. So another useless info there.
Yeah. The Blackpool away game that season was actually Dalglish's first Premiership game, wasn't it?
It was the night game, yeah.
And we got beat up in Blackpool. I watched that in Thailand.
But when Holloway's team, that Blackpool game, they put us over the knee and spanked our ass, really, because they made us. Didn't we all go and it's only Blackpool? They took us to the cleaners.
It was his last goal as well for Liverpool, I think.
Charlie Adam ran the game that day, and we ended up going on to buy him. And I mean, the least says about that, the better, to be honest with you. But as Tony said, I can't, Holloway's coming back with, I think, a far worse side than he is than the Blackpool side. I mean, it should be a turkey shoot tomorrow. I'm actually expecting Liverpool to hit top form tomorrow and put them to bed.
Come on, Tom. Oh, that 9-0 game, that 89-90 was the last time we won the league as well. And it seems like yesterday.
Palace beat us in the semis there as well, didn't he?
I've never seen a game of 2 halves in my life. That first half was just ridiculing. Just wasn't even treating it like a semi-final. Was we come out second half, like, what's going on here? My God. But when you check the team, they had them. Mark Price, Ian, I know Ian Knight never played. They had Pardew, they had Jeff Thomas, they had Nigel Martin in goal. You know what I mean?
That was the start of our decline in the defence. I thought Alan Hansen, Glenn Hussein was in the defence, then Mark Lonson played that game.
It was Rushy 1-0.
It was Glenn Hussein, Alan Hansen. I think that was the decline of our defence, that game. I think from then on in, there was none after that, did we?
From them, I don't think we've won the league since, From 90.
Colin, we're going to win it this season, like, in March.
Yeah, that's all fair enough, all having a little pop there, but we're in it to win it, surely. And the way, if we keep winning league games, what's to stop us winning the league? Only ourselves, I think. Because as Tully said earlier on, it's an ordinary league this year. There's no standout sides, so there is no reason why. I know people will start phoning me up and sending me messages in a minute, calling me this and calling me that, and I know who they'll be. But there is no reason why we can't win this league.
You're right. I'll take it. That man knows his football. So I'm Team Colin. I'm Team Lloyd.
I'll sit on the other side of the fence.
You're with John Terry.
I think we'll slip up a few times this season. I think it'll be chopping and changing this season. We'll lose a few games, and it's going to be a tight league. But I don't think we'll finish. I don't know.
I'll be with fifth.
There's a newfound optimism this week, I've noticed, Colin. We've been proper doom and gloom the last 3 weeks. We have, haven't we, lads? And we're sitting at the top of the league and we're like, oh my God, what's going on? Look, this week Colin's coming with the new
optimism. We found our optimism, so I know.
I think you found the optics.
We're there to be shot down with comments like we're going to win the league. I understand that. And the chances are that we probably won't win the league. But while we're top or second, let's enjoy it. Why not?
Sod it. The National, the Lottery, the lot, the Derby, the TC races.
We're getting the lot. So, before we come to our predictions, I'm going to say about a couple of other things going on Field FM this weekend. After the match tomorrow, the usual live at the Solly. We'll be doing that again. It'll probably be about 3 o'clock kick-off tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, it'll probably be about live from the Solly. Everyone settles down. It'll probably be on about 6:30, 7 o'clock. That's been getting huge listening figures that the lads, good, well-travelled lads coming in from the match and giving their opinions straight after the match while they're still pumped up, win, lose or draw. that's on tomorrow. But also it started last week. The Irish lads from Dublin, the Irish lads we were with in the Lafayette. Liam's not actually coming tomorrow, but they bought an Alm minibus, a 16-seat, and they're coming over to as many games at home as they can, and games other in the northwest or as far as Birmingham. And they're doing a live show they're doing a show on the ferry whenever they come across, and hopefully, the lads from the Irish Cup, hopefully that'll be on at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and then it'll be repeated throughout the weekend as well. I told them they can do it in Gaelic if they want, because listening to them last time, we're all more or less out of Gaelic. Yeah. But no, it's a good show, and they've got a lot to talk about, and it's similar to us, the Noise and the Boys, but with an Irish view on it.
Do you want to have a mention about, St. Paul was saying about if you've got any bits and bobs, any poems, any literature to bang on the podcast on Anfield FM, anything related to Liverpool? Lads have been banging them on. Greg Hines sent something in, I'd put a little poem in myself. If you want to bang it on there, get them on there.
Yeah, any little poems or anything extraordinary, send them in to us on an MP3, Paul at AnfieldFM.com, and he'll get them on as a podcast. On there, when I went to Norway and see Liverpool, we were all just singing songs, when the booze are all bevies. Have you listened to them? Cool. And I just got the mic out and recorded them on. There's some blinds there. Irish Luke. We come up to anything else before we go to our predictions tomorrow, Colin?
Just a quick one, Jock. Well done to Colo Touré. He's managed to get himself back in that Ivory Coast squad for the first time in 18 months, 2 years, and they've got it's the World Cup playoffs now against Senegal next week and the week after. So fingers crossed, he's on his way to the World Cup this year if they can put Senegal to bed.
Well, I've just got one little thing myself, but it deserves a mention actually. The 4th of October 1976, Howard Gale was the first black player to represent Liverpool in a 3-0 win at Anfield against Man City. Our football has come a long way. He's the
player. Come on for Dalglish, didn't he? Come on for Dalglish and then got subs. Plays are blind, isn't he?
He's only from the top of the road.
He's from Norris Green, actually. So
then there was the big road that leads to Norris Green.
He's forever in Liverpool's history, just specifically for that Bayern Munich game, as Tony said. So well played to him, and another Liverpool legend. But someone's got to stop farting on this show. So if they could have scratch and sniff on this show, you'd know how bad it is in here at the moment.
Right, that was I only squeezed a little one out there. Tomorrow's predictions. Anthony, we'll start with you.
5-0 Suarez first goal, and I'm putting £20 on that. That's how confident I am.
Christopher?
3-0. 3-0. Suarez first goal.
Colin?
4-0 Liverpool, Luis Suarez first goal.
I'm going to go 1-0 Henderson tomorrow. You're all getting carried away. You've all been on the optics. 1-0. I think it's going to be a...
You've seen the difference that fella makes last week.
You've got to beat these tomorrow now. And if we don't beat them...
1-0 is beating them, by the way.
I'm saying, but if we don't beat them tomorrow, there's going to be doom and gloom again, isn't he? But no, as Colin said, we're going to win the league. Yeah, we're going to win the league and all that. So
and the lottery.
We're allowed to lose 4 games to win the league.
Are we? Who says?
Well, that's what they reckon. You can't lose less than 4 games if you want to have a real crack at the league in 4 games a season. You can't lose more of that. So we've got another 3 we can throw away. We can throw another 3 away.
Just got to go and beat these tomorrow.
Just a quick one before we finish, Jock. It's not like a special guest thing that we had as good as, Tony's friend last week who turned up, but I'd just like to do... I've got an Elton John impression I'd like to share with you. Here is he. Arde.
Right, well, that'll be getting cut out. If you only caught I was just about to say if you only caught the back end of this show. But I'll have to change the word on that. Anyway, if you only just caught the arse end of this show, it'll be getting repeated again later. So tune in, and also tune in for live from the Solly tomorrow on the Irish Cop Show at 1 p.m. Tony?
I want to do my Gascoigne impression. No one else, just myself. just play for Newcastle and be myself.
Okay. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining Noise from the Boys. And let's hope for 3 points tomorrow. And up the Reds.
Talk to you soon. See you later.